What is that? Oh, I'm not even mad. I just respect it. Yeah, I gotta admit, if I was you right now, I'd be mad embarrassed being a part of this story. We are dealing with the most goonered character known to man, where she will look you in the eye and say, clapping of cheeks is for the plot. Oh, she was turboed, virgin, and horny out of her mind when she... Oh, this is cringe. In all my years watching anime, I've seen plenty of horned up characters. The type of characters that you would be convinced could rival Diddy in the amount of baby oil they probably possessed. But to have a isekai, a villainess isekai, where a character goes inside of a story they wrote, but not just any story, a story of such degeneracy that would rival book talk. And if you don't know what book talk is, count yourself lucky. This woman unironically wrote one of the plot points that a werewolf kidnaps the MC. Now keep in mind too, this is a very important distinction. The MC of the story, Konoha, is supposed to be a self-insert of the author who wrote the whole thing. That being our MC, who reincarnated into this story as the villainess. Very important distinction to remember as I say this. So MC of the story, aka her self-insert, kidnapped by werewolf. Okay. She made the werewolf not something that wanted to simply kill her. No. It wanted to devour her. Wanted to spread them legs and ravish her. Now here's the thing. If you've interacted with Book Talk girlies before, this isn't anything new for me. But it's the way that I realize, the more we get into this degenerate mess of a fanfic, the more I realize what Dark History Villainess is actually trying to tell everyone is that you shouldn't goon too close to the sun. Because while it's very safe to assume we will never be isekai'd, who am I to say that when the lights finally go out for us, there may not be some form of afterlife where we have to relive our deepest and darkest secrets? In a way, you could argue she's experiencing heaven because she gets to watch her fanfic come to life. But on the other hand, it's her living hell. The amount of embarrassment she has to deal with. And how she has to look at characters in the eye and say, your princess, we really want to get to her fast. Why's that? Because, well, I can't say she's gonna get raped. She's gonna get eaten. If they would have been an hour later, oh, this would have had a completely different rating. I said it last week, this show is unironically peak. I had some people try telling me that it's not that different from most villainess shows, and to those people I say, sit in the corner, no phone, no internet, no games, sit there until I get you next week. But Brandon, that's 7 days from now. Yep. That's your punishment. I truly think the only villainess show that I've seen that can rival the creativity of this show is the dad reincarnated into the daughter's villainess game. That's arguably just as creative. Because the thing is yes, often with these villainess shows, the villainess tries to avoid death flags. Usually, the death flag gets avoided from the beginning, and then there's like no threat. But recently, there's been more where there's been extra threats. But the fact that the threats are all these like individual chapters, right? And we've gone through a couple now. We're already up to like chapter 3, I think, starting next episode. But it's the fact that not only does she have to try to remember what she wrote, she also has to deal with the fact that the more she avoids, the more different things become. So the fact that she wrote this a decade ago, right? It's not fresh in her mind. She's gonna get wartime flashbacks. Oh, I wrote the rape wolf. Like, shit's gonna pop up and she'll remember it and just be immediately embarrassed and terrified all at once because she decided to not rub one out before she started writing. It's like going to the grocery store. You don't go to the grocery store on an empty stomach. You're gonna buy shit you don't want. The same thing when writing fanfics. Make sure if you're gonna write stuff that's horned up, you rub one out first so you don't go too gooning. PSA, that's all I'm saying. But what's interesting is while she's so far done a decent job at avoiding the stuff she knows of, we're already introducing stuff that never happened. So it seems like the more death flags she avoids, so like the main one in this episode, well, there was the wolf thing, and then there was also the dance. She had to make sure that the MC didn't dance with anyone because it would trigger a flag that would set her off on an adventure, and if she's not prepared before that adventure, she'll get killed, and Soul will get killed. It's a whole mess. So she stole all the boys' dances so that nothing would happen. And then what ended up happening was she dances with Soul, and then the whole building catches on fire and it tries to kill her. That wasn't in the original story. So we're already by episode 2 having unique plot points that deviate from her source material on top of still using the source material. Super creative way to go about what you traditionally see in these villainess shows, but completely different. And the idea of having such absurd comedy with the fact that author is loving and hating it all in one makes for an embarrassing, cringy, beautiful mess that is really unlike any villainess show I've seen. And I mean, as the #1 self-proclaimed hater of villainess shows, I never like these shows, of course. Anyway, I probably got at least 1 or 2 comments that are like, what are you talking about? You love villainess shows. Inside joke, remember. It's really cool to see that within like 5 years, villainess shows have evolved so much. And it's not that like I think, oh, authors are finally understanding. I'm sure these have existed for a while. But it's really interesting to see how much quicker villainess shows are being adapted, but the good ones, versus when Isekai was first experiencing their boom. Because when Isekai anime first had their like big boom where like everyone was just making the most generic shit known to man, I felt like it took a bit to finally get the good stuff to be adapted, where now, like, you know, you look at an anime season like this, a majority of the Isekai are at the bare minimum fun. Like, it's not like there's abysmal dogshit garbage Isekai airing this season. But with Villainess, I felt like the quality was a lot different. Like, yeah, you kind of had a fun Bakurina show, but then it's like, okay, dad reincarnated as Villainess, blah, blah, blah. But if I really look at the track record of how long it took your normal Isekai to come out with bangers versus Villainess, they had a quicker turnaround. I don't know, maybe they're just taken from experience, like production committees know what Isekai fans like more, so it's easier to pick what Villainess shows to adapt. I don't know. Either way, this show's awesome. It's one of my personal favorites. It had dog shit abysmal animation at one point that just made me happy when she slid in there and just fell. Like, people might want to argue, oh, it was a creative decision for a joke. I doubt it, but either way, it sent me into a laughing fit, and I loved it. But it's moments like those that really make me highlight, like, when people get overly mad at, like, beginning after the end or One Punch Man. Like, I'm not saying people can't want their favorite show to have better animation than average or below average, but this is anime. This isn't anything new. It's just sometimes really funny when that happens. The only way it would have been funnier is if it was a blue lock scene, and that happened. Either way, though, I'm loving this one. I think it will be heavily slept on. I think it'll be heavily underappreciated. But I think even if this isn't your favorite Villainess show of the season, even if it's not anywhere close to being your favorite of the season, I'm okay with that. I'm just not okay when people try telling me that it's your average Villainess show, because it's not. It has everything going for it. It's visually distinct. It's thematically distinct. And just overall, I'm not exactly sure where the punchlines will go. And the fact that by episode 2, they introduced the sexual predator pest, this is going to get degenerate, and I'm here for it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you happen to be new around here. And of course, Patreon's where you can catch my full live reactions to all this and more. Like, hey, I also like to give video shoutouts to my patrons. So today we got Gaius, Shareable Cockris, Brian Mifsud, Waka866, Andy, and we also have Little Bandit. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.